Hey guys, Dr. Chad here, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 steps to fixing hip pain. So if you have a nagging side here and every time you walk or go up the stairs, get down the stairs, it's difficult getting dressed, things like that, this is going to be very, very helpful for you. So really, before I get into it, tell me, if you have hip pain, how long have you had hip pain? Just say yes and dash and how long you've had hip pain, because in my experience, so many people out there are dealing with hip pain. It's one of the most common areas. And one of the main problems is the way we move in our culture. We've been sitting a lot. We've lost a lot of mobility in the hips. So this is step 1 that we have to address. Because we're sitting so much, our glutes are weak, our hamstrings, our quads, all the supporting tissues are really weak. So stability becomes a big problem, and that's issue number 2 that we're going to fix today. And also because of the inflammation in our diets, all the inflammatory foods, the sugar, the toxic fats, things that irritate the gut, those can all add to inflammation in the body, which slows the healing process. So this lack of mobility, this lack of stability, and this inflammation creates a cascade in the hip, and it's why so many of us are dealing with such severe issues. So hi Vanessa, and if you're just checking in, please just say yes if you have hip pain and also how long you've had it. I'm going to show you 2 follow-along exercises today that you can do with me. All you'll need is a belt right here. We're just going to take a simple belt. You can do any belt, but just a belt that can loop right here, okay? And then also a bed or a yoga mat that you can do something on the floor. So get ready to do that with me, but we're going to show you an exercise, a stretch, and a strengthening movement, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some things you can do to decrease inflammation in your body. So does that sound good? All right, so get your belt. Let's go to a bed, and I'm going to pretend here that it's my right hip that hurts. And the first thing we're going to do is work on mobility. We have to improve mobility in the hip. I mentioned because we sit so much, our hips get really tight. First of all, we should be able to come down like this. This should be completely normal. Can you do this, yes or no? Right? You should be able to do this until you're 100 years old, and most people can, but the reason why we can't do it is because of mobility, stability, and inflammation. So let's take that belt, loop it, okay? We're going to work on this right hip here. And all you're going to do is keep your legs straight. You're going to pull it back and hold here and stretch for about 5 seconds. You're going to feel a nice little hamstring stretch crossing over the back of the knee. And then you're going to take the belt over right here and hold for about 5 seconds, keeping your shoulders flat on the table, trying to keep your belly button pointed up if you can. You want all the movement in the hip. And then coming back and then down. Let's practice about 5 of those together. So again, up, breathe, 2, 3, 4, 5, over, 2, 3, 4, 5, up and down. And if you know me, I'm always saying when you're doing stretches, try not to make a face. Just really breathe, relax, let the stretch happen. It's okay to feel a little tension, little discomfort back here. Then we go over. That's tissue being moved, and the more you relax your face, the more you breathe, the more of a change you can make in the hip. Let's do a couple more here. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5, over, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back and then down. The only people who shouldn't do that stretch are people who have had total knee replacements in the past maybe 8 to 10 weeks. But after that, you should be able to. A healthy hip means you can do that, okay? So that's one exercise that you can do to mobilize the hip. Let me show you something that you can do to stabilize the hip by strengthening the glutes. And I always say that we have a case of humans who have gluteal amnesia. Our butts have fallen asleep because we no longer know how to use them. So I'm going to teach you how to do a bridge, which is one of the most effective ways that you can activate the glutes, stabilize the pelvis, and put less pressure on the hip. Okay, so laying down here, have your knees bent, feet flat on the bed. Again, you can do this on the yoga mat or your actual bed. But right here in this position, imagine a bowl of soup below your belly button, okay? And the first thing I want you to do is kind of tilt that bowl of soup towards you and then go back to neutral. Just get a feeling of what it's like to tilt your pelvis to you and then go away. Tilt it to you and then tilt away, okay? Now what we're going to do tilt the bowl of soup towards you and keep tilting, keep tilting. Now start lifting up, 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 up. Squeeze the glutes, hold, 2, 3, and then down the way you came up, step by step, moving from top to bottom, and then tilting back. Okay, tilting towards you, up, 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 up. Hold, 2, 3, rolling on the way down, segment by segment. And let's just keep going. But what we're doing here with this pelvis tilting towards us is we're really gaining a lot of motor control in the low back and the hips and the glutes around the pelvis. All that's so important to create stability around the hip. Okay, nice and easy here. This isn't one you're trying to rush through, because we're trying to retrain the brain to learn how to move and activate those muscles. Those muscles are asleep, so we have to put the pelvis in a good position and make sure that the angle of the joint has leverage so that muscle wakes up. You don't want to just lift up the hips. So bowl of soup tilts towards you, up, 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 and then rolling on the way down. Let's do one more together here. Tilting towards you, up, 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 and then rolling on the way down. Yeah? So how'd that go? So that's one way you can, those are two exercises you can do to increase mobility and increase stability in the hip. There's so many things you can do, but exercises and stretches, just like collagen, they help the mechanical side of your pain, right? Mechanical meaning the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, all those things are super important. It's also important that you address the chemical side, and that's where inflammation is our biggest obstacle. So I mentioned the toxic fats, the sugar, the refined foods. You want to change your diet and decrease inflammation in order to speed up the healing process. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of anti-inflammatory, over-the-counter pain medicines, which are very toxic to the body, very irritating to the gut. I don't recommend you take those things. I highly recommend you take something like turmeric, which is a natural Ayurvedic root, been around for thousands of years. It's completely natural. Ours has piperine in it, which is a black pepper extract that helps you absorb the turmeric. So we have a special going on today that you can take advantage of that. And for those who do purchase, in the email, I will give you a full 2-week home exercise program for your hip, just like these 2 exercises here. There's many more. There's a program I've laid out for you guys, all the sets, all the reps, everything is follow along. And there's also another PDF I included for 8 anti-inflammatory herbs and spices. That's only available today for people who purchase the turmeric. But these things should help you. When you improve mobility, improve stability, decrease inflammation, that's how you get out of pain, okay? So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoy those exercises, and I will see you both all very soon. Okay, bye-bye.